Yes, guys, episode 2 of the Physique TV with my co-host Matt Parker. Matt, you all good?
All good, buddy. All good. Slow start to the year for UK, isn't it? So I'm just eager for it to get started, really.
Yeah, maybe slow year for UK, but not slow for the BTS page. We've been busy with so much content. But look, today I'm really looking forward to this one because we've got Erin Banks, and the Erin Banks interview will start in 15 minutes. So if you do want to skip this bit and you want to get to Erin Banks, skip to the 15-minute mark. But also, guys, if you are watching this, do me a favor. Please click subscribe on the channel. It does help me a lot because I am trying to bring more and more people in. You know, we've got the Breonna Ainsley interview coming up, Terence Ruffin, Ashley Colwasser, loads of people coming up. So please, it won't hurt you. Just click subscribe. That'd be awesome. So we're going to start, Matt. I did a post the other day. I did a post asking people IFBB Pro prospects for men's physique. Okay. So what we're going to do, I'm going to bring up some of the names. We're going to go on the Instagram page. We're going to try to touch on briefly. We're going to try to get them through as many as possible before Erin gets on. Should we do that?
Let's do it, right. Mate. Let's do it.
Let me grab. Let's find some names here. Okay. I'm going to start. Let's start the first person. So let me add. Here we go. First person was tagged was Richie O'Donnell. So let's grab him. Here we go. Yeah. Let's find a couple of pictures.
Yeah, I mean,
at least start. Here we go. We've got a current picture.
Who tagged him? Is he definitely competing this year?
Definitely competing. That's what it sounds like, and the way he's looking at the moment, I assume so.
Yeah, he's good. I know, like I said, I know he's in Dubai at the moment, so I don't think he's in prep right now. So maybe like towards the back end of the year. But yeah, I mean, he's competed many times. He's a seasoned vet, isn't he? So you know he's going to be in the mix when he does go for it. I don't know how close he's been in the past, if he's been in overalls in the middle or...
I was going to say that as well. I'm trying now, Richard. I do apologize for this. I can't remember if he has been in a overall lineup in a pro qualifier. I can't remember. Now, he's smashing it as a coach when it comes to some of the bikini pro card winners he's had his books. Obviously, he misses 2 Kirstys. Or getting pro card in bikini. Richie, on a standpoint, it was funny enough, my first ever show in 2013. Richie was in that show as well, so he's been around for quite a while. Smashing it business-wise, I'm interested to see how this plays out because, like I said, he's not gone into an overall in a pro qualifier yet, from what I understand. Richie, if I'm wrong, I do apologize. I do try and keep myself as much up to date as possible. But the one thing we know is not issue with Richie is condition. He always brings it on the day. So I'm interested to see how this offseason plays out, what added muscle tissue he brings to the table. We know he's going to bring a trademark condition. Yeah, it looks like it might be towards the back end of the season. Obviously, he's got his show. He's promoted through 2 Bros in June or July time, the Welsh one. So it could be the second half of the season.
Yeah, it's for him. I think it's all going to come down to how he can balance his prep with his own business, because, like you said, he's a very successful coach, and it's get to that point for him and for, like, I mean, myself included, where you've got quite a few clients competing. Fitting in when you're going to compete within that is quite a challenge within itself, especially for Richie when he's got a few pros on the books. He's got travel internationally, quite a lot for them too. So it'll be interesting to see when he goes to it. But yeah, I can see him being in the mix when he does.
Okay, next one is, here we go, Lewis Physiques, Ashley Lewis, another Welsh lad. Have you come across Ashley before?
Yeah, I know him very well.
I know
him very well. Guy's an absolute mutant. He is a big guy.
Obviously, look. Yeah, look, I mean, when I used to live in Swansea, we trained a few times, know really well. Let's try and find, because obviously I know we did a few shows. Try and find the PCA one. I really felt that his best ever look was when he won the overall at PCA.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah. I remember that. It was at the Welsh show, wasn't it? He brings great condition, really good condition.
Yeah.
When, like you said, when he nails it, like, because
here we go.
I'm sure you won't mind me saying, his waist isn't the smallest, but when he nails his fullness and the condition, like, he can make up for it because he's just a very large individual. So if he nails his peak, and he's added more size because he's had a little bit of time off now, he will be dangerous. Like that picture there, go up a little bit.
Oh, wait, I'll just find one.
Yeah,
this one here. This is one of the most recent ones.
Yeah, so you can see what I mean. Like he is a big dude. Not the smallest waist, but if even more size now across the delts, the chest, and the arms. You know, it's gonna make his waist seem even smaller. I wouldn't really want to be against him, to be honest.
Yeah, I know he's a very tall lad as well, so I guess he would be in the tallest division, and you are competing against some absolute monsters there. I don't know if from this picture, it does look like his shoulders do dominate more of his chest, but I think, yeah, he the look he has is a very strong men's physique look. He didn't compete in 2024, I believe. So I'm always very cautious when competitors on the amateur scene take a year out, because sometimes that can work against them. It can work against them where, you know, the division develops, more people come through, and it's about what have you done in that single year that could make yourself push for those high placings, especially when you push for the overalls. But if Lewis is competing this year, and from what I remember him saying, and also Mitch, who obviously IFBB PRO, 2025 is the year he'll be competing. Look forward to see how this plays out. But definitely condition, size, you know, the shape is all there. The tour division is just full of monsters. So yeah, we'll see what happens on that side. Okay, let's just get to the next person. Okay, Kelvin Brown.
Yeah, Kelvin's great, man. He's been in multiple overalls. He's been very close many times. For him, it's just his back shot. His front shot is so strong. He knows it himself. Like his coach, Jake, always says it, takes the piss out of him for it as well. But, you know, once he brings that back up a little bit more, it's his, because he is very aesthetic. There's a couple of things which he can't bring up anymore, like his arms. He can't bring his arms up anymore. So it's now for him, I think it's more sort of like not overall size, which a lot of amateurs need is overall size. For him, it's more fine tuning. So bringing his back up, making sure his arms don't get any bigger. And I think that's all he'd need to secure the card.
Yeah, he reminds me of a a tall Sheridan in regards to coming very close in the overalls.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I saw him compete at the European.
Tall lad.
Yeah, he was on in the Europeans, and it was close between him and Khaled, who obviously then went on to take the cards. And to be honest, I think Kelvin had Khaled beat from the front. But again, when they turned around, he just lost too many points there. But again, that just shows how close he is, you know?
Yeah, definitely, mate. Okay, let's grab the next person. Kelvin, I do hope 2025 is your year. You'll be knocking my door for quite a while. You've definitely paid your dues, so hopefully 2025 will be your year. This is one. So this is Tyler Smith's client. So Tyler tagged, what's his name? Sorry, Chenery Fitness. I don't know your full name, but I know you had some success with PCA. This is gonna be a training video, isn't it? Let's try and find a picture. Where are you?
I know Tyler did a video on him.
Here we go.
There we go. Yeah, he's good, man. Like him and Tyler nailed it in terms of like the condition that they bring to the stage. But you know, going from PCA to NPC, we know how much of a jump up that is.
Agree.
So it depends on what he's done between then winning that sword and now. If he's got the extra size and he brings the same conditioning, then who knows?
Yeah. No, I agree. It's that when you are making that transition from PCA to the NPC, it's definitely a different ball game when it comes to men's physique, especially for the volume of competitors. And if you are competing overseas, that's when some people can get slightly exposed, but can only be a good thing, especially when you get that feedback to know where to improve on. Fitness with Dex. Who's this chap? Some of these people I've come across here before. So let's see. Okay, looks like he's a natural bodybuilder. First place PCA. First time? Is that first place PCA World Championship? Championships. Let's have a look here. So this is a chap who got tagged. He's a men's physique short winner. Have you come across him before?
Never seen him before, no, which is quite rare for me.
No.
Good
No.
condition.
So look, good condition. Obviously size wise.
Work.
Yep.
And like you said, size. If it's a natural federation, right? If he goes for his natural pro card, who knows with the natural IFBB pro qualifiers? I mean, if you look at the chap that won it in France, he was very beatable.
Yep.
So who knows?
Yeah, I agree. Especially when we look at the French lad. Definitely. Definitely. I don't know if you did a post or was somebody else, but you were saying that if some of the other guys in the UK were over, they probably could have taken advantage. Dale Blacks, you know Dale.
Dale's got loads of potential.
Oh,
mate.
his account's private. He's on private.
Well, we'll quickly talk about him anyway.
Anyone
that doesn't know him, like Dale he's a very good competitor. He's got the structure for sure. He needs to get consistent with his peaks, because the show that he did with you, Suki, your last show, he looked really good, didn't he? Looked very, very good there.
Look good.
And then he did PCA finals, which he did win, but they didn't give him the pro card because they didn't think he was quite PCA pro standard yet. And that's because he wasn't as sharp. So he does need a little bit more size because he is a taller individual, but he's got the structure. Definitely got the structure. So when he gets more size and he gets consistent with his peaking, I think he can get it long term.
I was going to say that as well. That consistency on his peaking, we know he's got the potential. We know he's got the foundations to create a very strong men's physique look to the stage. But I think it's that nailing that condition on show day. If you win a PCA, not what your pro status, that's a big move from PCA, because I thought normally they would give the pro card to the winners. So if he is going for the NPC route in 2025, let's hope he nails that. But plenty of potential. Landon, where is he? You know who he is, mate. Landon Knight.
Yeah, I know of Landon. What I don't know about Landon actually is his competitive history. I know he's done PCA. I'm pretty sure he's a PC. Is he PCA pro? I'm pretty sure. Yeah, yes, it's a pro card there.
Yes.
But I don't know how he's done in IFBB pro qualifiers.
I'm trying to remember. Let's have a little scroll down, see if much was. Did he compete? He didn't compete in 2024, did he?
I don't
remember seeing him on stage.
No, I don't remember it. But I mean,
I guess like if this big. Sorry, go on.
What's that? I was going to say, I mean, I guess the past doesn't really matter if he's taken that much time off. So if he has gained more size from this, it is that natural progression, isn't it? Right, getting the PCA pro card, gaining. Usually, you have to gain a little bit more size, then go for an IFBB pro qualifier. He's taken that time off, so theoretically, yes, he should be in the mix. There's clearly something there if he's got a PCA pro card in front of him. So we're just going to have to wait and see with him, I think.
Okay, I'm not going to go through any more because we should be having Erin in a moment. I just want to touch on one thing you just said. You mentioned about like if he's used the last couple of years to put the extra size on. I had an interview with Ryan Terry, and Ryan was saying like really on a year basis, he would only put on 2 pounds of muscle because he knows that the focus for him is the shape, is the aesthetics, is keeping everything in proportion. It seems to be we then look on the amateur scene, and Ryan did kind of allude to this, that sometimes people are just chasing size and therefore forgetting the shape, the symmetry, the proportions, and always chasing more and more and more. But more is not better, and we've seen that with numerous competitors. I'll use one example who's did not put on too much size, and that was Josh Wall, who won his pro card in 2024. Didn't look too much different from maybe a year or a couple of years back, but aesthetically, it was just a very pleasing physique, and he was in the shortest class. So to win the pro card with shortest class and still be aesthetically pleasing shows that you don't need to chase the size game. You don't chase all this extra muscle, as like Ryan was saying. What's your thoughts on that?
I think it's very person dependent. Some people genuinely do need a lot more size. And then, no, you are right. Some people do just need to fine tune and perhaps just work on some specific area. So you say that, I know Ryan Terry only gained a little bit on the scale weight each time, but if you look at his like 2-year back transformation, like visually, like that looks like there's a shit ton of muscle that was gained there. And I guess that's like, we don't need to necessarily focus on the scales, I guess, but visually, you can't deny he added a lot of muscle tissue onto his back. It's what won him the Olympia.
Yeah, definitely. And one person we're going to talk to today, in my eyes, in fact, he just jumped on. In my eyes, he's got the best back in men's physique. I put a comment on his coach's page that he has the best back in men's physique history. That's how much I rate it. Did you see the most recent picture? I think his coach put it up. It's solid. Well, look, on that note, let's just bring him in. Welcome, Erin Banks. Erin, can you hear us?
Give me a minute, fellas. I'm trying to get this.
No worries, mate.
We can hear you all good.
Okay, boom. Cool. Can you hear me? We here, right? You see me?
Yes.
Erin, I like the hat, mate. I like the hat.
Hey, appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. I mean, I got probably 200 plus hats, bro. So I'm a hat dude. I'm a shoe dude. So yeah, it's bad.
Let me give him a proper introduction. 2022 Arnold and Olympia champion. 2023 Arnold champion. In my eyes, he has the best back in men's physique, not right now, but in history. That's how much and pretty much I would assume a lot of industry rate it. He is one of the best characters in bodybuilding. You know, dress sense is on point, especially at the men's physique press conference at Olympia in the cowboy hat. Look, It is, of course, Erin Banks. Erin, how you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm just, locked in on this Arnold Classic prep. And, of course, I got a couple other shows lined up this year. So I'm super excited, man, and just motivated, man, just from placing third the last 2 years. And, even coming off of the Dubai Pro win it was a boost of confidence as well. But again, like I said, placing third, you kind of step back and you don't really point fingers at everybody else. You kind of look at the person in the mirror and kind of figure out what's really going on. So we sat back and we reflected a little bit, and you can't blame anybody besides myself, man. And that's one thing we're noticing this prep going around is I let my foot off the pedal, man. And winning, it was great. But then it's like, okay, what else do I need to accomplish? It's not like I'm super competitive to the point to where, like, I got here, I did it, cool. Like, that was it. But me in my head, when people start to doubt me or when people start to talk their shit, that's what gets me going and fired up again. So we literally went back to the drawing board and figured out what I was doing. And a lot of it had to do with back in 2022, after I did win, the judges kept saying, we want to see this, we want to see that. Of course, fill out the frame even more. But at that point, when you're telling me as a bodybuilder not to get bigger, not to do certain things, but then when I come in the next year, it's probably because of, one, we figured out the training. We went to more of the volume training versus how I'm training now is absolutely absurd. We're pushing weight around, not pushing it around. We're actually engaging and having those good contractions with the movements, especially with them saying, "Oh, you need a fuller chest" and stuff like that. I think we've definitely added to the chest, and we've even added more to the back, which is, it wasn't we weren't supposed to, but of course, training with intensity. It's definitely even better as well. So I'm good, man. Besides everything else, the kids are good, healthy. My daughter just had her little tooth extracted because it was growing in weird. So I'm good. Business is good. I'm just living life, man. Living life.
I just want to jump on something before I pass on to Matt, who I know has got some questions.
Gotcha.
You just said a moment ago that you took your foot off the pedal. What was the reason for that? What do you think caused that?
Me, I get distracted very easily. Being somebody who've had ADHD, all his life is like once I accomplished it, it's like, okay, I did it. Like even when this dates back to even when I won my pro card, like I didn't want to do this sport in the beginning. So when I got begged to do it in 2018 for a year, the lady begged me, and I'm like, okay, I'll try it. So I did it, and I became a pro in 3.5 months. So after I got my pro card, I was like, okay, like cool. Like I was not going to compete anymore. I was just saying I did it. You know what I mean? So it's the same thing when I had won the Mr. Olympia. It's like, okay, I did it. What else is there? I mean, yeah, I can go on a 2-time, 3-time, 4-time, but at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter. I won. So just kind of having that in the head, and then letting my foot off the gas by listening to things I shouldn't have listened to, and should have just kept putting pressure on my physique and improving my physique. But yeah, man, that was probably the biggest thing is, man, I'm somebody who's always looking for something different to do, So after I won, it was like, okay, what's next? So
that is crazy. That is crazy. Most people obviously spend most of their lives just trying to even get a pro card. Then you just go ahead and get it after that time frame. And like Ryan Terry says all the time, it was his dream to win the Olympia. Me and Suki have known Ryan for a long, long time, known how long it's taken him to get to that stage. And then you come around, and how many years in the game did you win the Olympia? 2 years, 3 years?
Man, to be honest, I mean, if we put it on calendar, it was a year and a couple months. But of course, it's seasons to the game. So I placed second in my first Olympia, and then turned around and won my first Arnold within the first year of me competing, and then won the Mr. Olympia in the same year. So no one's done that as a men's physique competitor. So, I've been extremely blessed, man, and super fortunate, man, with the career that I've had. And, and I was just telling my coach, like, we've been doing a lot of this stuff based off of my talent and my physique, and not necessarily killing myself and destroying myself when it comes to the training. So that's what a lot of you guys are seeing right now on my Instagram, is me just really going ham on my physique. And you can see the density that I've built. You can see how dry my skin looks. You can see how I look versus 6 weeks out now versus back then. It's a totally different look. So it's exciting to see it, man. And I know there's a lot of great competitors out there, man, that are also working their ass off too. So hats off to them. But I just know what I'm about to bring to these next big shows, and it's gonna be game.
It's crazy, man. Suki, bring up Erin's post. I think you put up a post yesterday, a video of him going through his routine. Because I do agree. It was one of the points I was going to bring up to you, Erin, actually. It does look like you are bigger in the arms and the chest particularly. So by the sounds of things from what you said there, like that's been a big focus of your training to bring that up, right?
Yeah, so and that's the main thing is hearing, since 2021, literally 2021, from Houston all the way to New York Pro to even placing second at the Mr. Olympia, they literally kept saying, fill out the frame, fill out the frame, fill out the frame. Even when I won it, you know what I mean? It was like, still bring the upper chest, still bring the upper chest. So I'm to the point to where I'm like, all right. Then last year there was like no pop. I'm like, okay. This year we gotta figure something out. We gotta go ultra hard on improving, because I have to bring something to them that they haven't seen from me. So I think this year is definitely something that they've never seen. And my weight cap is 232. I weighed in last year's Mr. Olympia at 224. This year I'm not getting on that scale without weighing 230. So, and at this point, like, I mean, you can see the conditioning and the dents and the fullness and the roundness and everything that goes into what a physique is supposed to look like, and it's showing right there. I think my body just needed that extra growth, you know what I mean? And now that when we talk about pop and density and roundness, I have all of that, you know what I mean? And also with pushing the conditioning to another level as well, is it also goes back into how I'm training as well. So I mean, we ramped the damn cardio up. I get on this damn Peloton bike every morning, so we do about 60 to 45 minutes depending on the day. Usually it's 4 days of 60 minutes, and then there's 3 days of 45 minutes. So that's the most cardio I've ever done in my career. I mean, we usually do 20 to 30 minutes, like max 6 days a week. So now we're like, okay, if we're gonna be eating more and building you into this physique that we're talking about, we got there's still a variable where we gotta keep you maintained. So up in the cardio, which is totally fine. Which he knows I hate cardio. My coach knows I hate cardio. But man, this is one of those. This is one of those. I need to prove to myself that I can do it, and I know where my discipline is, and I also already know where my gifts are, you know. So if we can ramp that up and bring what they told me to bring is more pop, well, you're gonna get more pop. So
right, Erin, this gets me fired up, mate. It gets me really fired up because first and foremost, I'm a fan of the sport, right? I'm a fan of men's physique, and like looking at what Ali and what Ryan brings, phenomenal. But they are at their cap. With you, I always knew there was room to grow. Yeah, you had room to grow, but it sounds of things you're filling that out. And I thought that when I looked at the video yesterday, so you've just confirmed it as well, which is really exciting. Which brings me on to my next question. With the show at Arnold's, you know, there's the exciting thing about that show is there's a lot of guys there. Within this sport, anything can happen, and there's a lot of phenomenal athletes at that show. But being realistic, a lot of people think the favorites are out of you and Ali, potentially Diogo. So what
I don't even want to be a favorite. Like I'm in the mentality, bro, right now of as I'm still a rookie, I'm going into the Houston Tournament of Champions, my first show. You know, that's how we're training. That's where the mindset is. I don't really care about, a prediction or Aaron should win or he should win or, you know, he's this and he's that. No, I just want to be a nobody going into the show like I was in 2021 coming in as a rookie. So, yeah, man, to be honest, I don't really care about who's coming to the show. I don't care who's coming to any show. I don't sit there and scroll on nobody's Instagram. I mind my own business. I do what I do, and I'm just focused on what I need to bring. And I think we're doing a really good job at doing that right now.
Okay, but so I'll tell you what, Erin. This is a very different Erin, if you don't mind me saying so, from a couple of years ago, right? Because we all know that you did have a little beef with some other competitors online. And now I think it goes in line potentially with your mindset that you've got, you know, the fact that you kind of won it and then you took your foot off the gas a little bit. And now I feel like you're really locked in and your whole mindset towards this whole thing is completely changed.
Yeah, man, you know, it goes back into like everything that happened after me placing third the first time. That kind of was like a wake-up call. I'm like, damn, do I still want to do this? Like, are they pushing me away? Like, am I capable of getting it back after placing third? So, you know, and it's also like a maturity thing too as well. You know, I've learned to grow up and learn what battles to fight and what not to do. You know, I'm not a very confrontational person, but I know when I'm egged on or when I'm in the heat of that moment, I'm definitely gonna do my talking. But bro, like I'm just a competitor that talk shit, point blank, period. You know what I mean? And I've done that my whole entire life playing sports growing up. You know, it's just helped me mentally to kind of get in that mode and get in that dog mode to where, again, like if somebody was if I'm a linebacker and there's a tight end right there, I'm jamming him. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna get in his ear. I'm gonna get in his head a little bit. It goes the same thing for this bodybuilding stuff because I know there's a lot of weak-minded men in this sport. You know what I mean? A lot of insecure men in this sport. So I play that to my advantage. Like I'm gonna get in your head regardless. So Yeah, man, it's just me just stepping back and just picking battles and just being focused on the things that I need to be focused on. I got 2 businesses I just opened, doing so many different things for my kids, man. It's I don't have time for the bullshit no more. You know, I'm just so focused on what I got going on in my personal life and what grown men have to say on the internet. You know, so in
Erin,
my own lane.
I just want to just touch on what somebody said, because you mentioned that when you won the Olympia, you're like, oh, what else could I do? And you just talked about when you came third, oh, maybe I'm not what the judge is looking for. And you've got all this stuff going on with your personal life, you know, your kids, the businesses. So all that being said, was there a time maybe after Olympia where were you thinking about retirement? Because everything you talk about there was giving me the hint that maybe you were thinking about calling a day.
No, man. So the thing with that post, and even my coach did a YouTube about it. I mean, it wasn't nowhere near of me talking about retirement, but I can see where people kind of ran with that narrative because of how some of the word placement that I put in there. But at the end of the day, man, I'm just a competitor. You know what I mean? And bodybuilding don't make or break me. Like, I can leave the sport today and still be chilling. But the thing is, I knew I wasn't ready for retirement. But when they started to run with that narrative, I kind of played into it. Like, I'm gonna play into it because everybody has these narratives and everybody has this stuff that they want to post or whatever the case may be. But yeah, man, we literally ran and kind of jumped on board with what everybody was saying. And then next thing you know, I'm doing a show. You know what I mean? So it's all about bringing the excitement into the industry. And that's one thing I've done since 2021. And to be honest, I mean, it gets boring as hell. Like, even when I stopped talking shit and stopped being crazy like how I was, like, it's just boring to me, you know? Like, ain't nobody chipping at each other. I mean, I get, like, there's no hype, no nothing. So that's why I love being who I am. And I would never change for nobody. And I'm gonna always bring the drama, the character, the charisma to this industry, because I mean, if nobody else is going to do it, you damn for sure know Erin Banks is going to do it for you. So that's just
Right.
just who I am, man.
Well, Matt, let's just go straight in then. Let me ask you this: if the best version of Erin Banks walks into the Arnolds 2025 as a 2-time Arnold champion, is the best version of Erin Banks walking out as a 3-time Arnold champion?
I mean, that's not even a question. I'm confident that I will get another title. Like, there's no ifs. There's no ifs. I know for a fact, like I said, when you do your homework, they tell you to do, or you need to bring Pop, you need to be Fuller and all this other stuff, to where now we have a weight cap, which I'm glad we do have a weight cap, because I think if we didn't have a weight cap and I had got way too much, got bigger, they would say, oh, he's too big. But now we have a weight cap, so I'm gonna kind of play the ball like C-Bomb. C-Bomb, I think his weight cap is what, 242 from Classic? I think we're the same height, so it'd be like 242. So at the end of the day, like, he was pretty much at his cap as well and winning. So why shouldn't I be at my cap as well and winning shows too, and not trying to chase a 222 or 224 Boston Pro or 2022 Mr. Olympia? Like, I don't want that weight. I have to improve. If I can't improve, I don't think I bring anything different. And the thing is, I didn't bring anything different in 2023 nor 2024. So this year,
we can all see that for sure. I mean, elaborating on from Suki's question, I know you're not focused on anyone else, but you know, like Suki said, you bring your best. Let's just say Ali brings his best. What areas are you going to be beating Ali on?
I beat Ali in every area. I mean, conditioning wise, he may have that. He can have that. But bro, you're not beating my structure. You're not beating my back. You're not beating my fullness. And then if we want to go part by part, no. It's and that's just realistic. There's no hate. There's nothing. Like, there's no one who has a better structure. Diogo has a crazy structure. So it's like, all I got to do is bring my A game, and it's curtains. Like, it's curtains.
there is only a certain amount of things that when it goes into men's physique, right? And you've highlighted a lot of them there. It's condition, the balance.
It's a front and back pose. I guarantee I win the back pose. That's not even a question. So I'm already up 50%, right? Okay, Ali may get me in conditioning. Okay, that's 15%. But what about everything else? Stage presence, posing, front shot, like all of it? No, I win. If I'm on, I win.
We're all really excited for it.
You don't win off of conditioning. That's the thing. So, when it does happen, and hopefully everybody at their best, and I'm at my best, and we'll see. We will definitely see.
Is there any? Again, I know you're not focused on anyone apart from yourself, but is there anyone who you think is a bit of a dark horse at this show?
It's a lot of guys who are dark horses, man. At the end of the day, you got a lineup of Olympians. So you also got a lot of these guys who are also hungry. We have this Arnold lineup is not a lineup to be slept on, because there's some guys that can do some damage. You got Jason Hume, you got Ryan Clark, you got City, you got what's his name, Emmanuel, the guy from Brazil. Like, you got so many of these guys who have phenomenal shapes and structures and bring different aspects to their game onto the stage, So there's no one to be slept on. Like that's why I don't even want to be put forefront of, Erin Banks is winning the show, or he might win. I don't want to hear none of that. Like, I want to come in like I'm nobody. Like, I'm the dark horse. Like, I'm the dark horse. So that's just the mindset that where I'm at, and that's what's going to keep me focused on what I need to do and get up and do everything that I need to do on a daily basis.
Yeah, sounds like a great mindset to have. And funnily enough, we were interviewing Jeremy Potvin last week, and going into his season, he's got exactly the same mindset. He wants to be the underdog. He just wants to focus on himself and not worry about any sort of like external pressure or who's the favorite or anything like that. And I think it can massively help going into a show like mindset wise, especially a big show like Arnold's. Is there any sort of like? I was going to just ask, is there any sort of like tools that you can use to help you with that? Because obviously you're a big name in the sport, and there's a lot of sort of like spotlight on you, especially on Instagram and things like that. Is there anything you can give to advice to any competitor how to just focus on the task at hand?
First and foremost, man, you got to be peaceful within yourself. You know what I mean? I've learned to gauge just what I got going on in my present, and not focusing on what everybody else is saying or outside noise or whatever the case may be. So, even though I am on Instagram all day, like that, my mind don't allow me to feed into negative or look and try to see what another person is. Look, I've never been a follower, and I would never be a follower. So I do what Erin Banks wants to do and how Erin Banks wants to do it. I don't sit there and do some of the things that these guys do. So I just, man, the main thing is making sure you got your priorities straight. You know what I mean? So again, I may be on Instagram, but I'm a father 24/7. So if anything's happening or I need to take care of whatever I need to take care of, that's my main focus. So it's just basically, man, just putting yourself first and not worrying about the bullshit that go on in this world, especially with the drama that goes on in bodybuilding. Well, I would say men's physique, which is not too much right now, but who knows? They might get mad at me again.
Erin, if everything goes to plan, what's your show season looking like for 2025?
If everything goes as well as I want it to go, it'll be the Arnold, New York, Pittsburgh, Dubai Pro, and then the O.
Nice. Dubai Pro's in July, right? Is it June or July?
June.
I
think it's
cool.
June 21st or one of those, June 21st.
Yeah. So then it gives you a little gap between then and then the Olympia. Have they announced the Olympia dates yet?
It's the second weekend of October.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
it's the same weekend.
There's a reason why I asked about that shows because I know you were mentioning Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh men's physique pretty much looks like an Olympia lineup of who's who. Myers Ryan Terry, Brandon Hendrickson's back, we're assuming Jeremy Buendia is doing the Pittsburgh. Apparently, rumors are saying that's what he's doing. I don't know if you've heard any differently. What's your thoughts for 2025, given the fact that you got Jeremy Potvin is back as well. You got all these guys who may not be there in 2020, 2024. All of a sudden, this men's physique lineup in 2025 looks like it could be the best one yet. What's your thoughts on that?
What that mean? Like, I don't care about them people coming. I'm still focused on what I got going, which is winning the Pittsburgh Pro. I don't care about who coming. I don't. It can be everybody. You can line up all the 6 Olympias. Anybody can come. I don't run from heat. That's one thing I don't. I'm a competitor, and I'm super excited that Brandon is actually coming back, and I'm super excited if Jeremy do pop into the Pittsburgh. So I don't know. I'm just excited to run it up. That's it. I'm not worried about those guys though.
Love that.
Never
Love
been.
that. Aaron, we spoke in the Dragons Day just before the Olympia, and we were actually. I think it'd be worth us bringing this conversation up again, because a lot of previous Olympians, they'll just do one show a year, the Olympia, but you like to do multiple shows a year, which I think is a really, really cool thing to do. So what's your motivation behind wanting to compete multiple times in the year?
You got to understand, man, if you only competing once a year, I mean, what's your pockets looking like? I mean, we don't make money off of these shows, but what I do is I go to these shows and I network, right? So I'm also building without doing anything else. So one, I'm a competitor. I love to compete. So if there's a show that's gonna pay me some money, best believe I'm going to get it. You know what I mean? So it's just like when they announced the Dubai Pro 40,000. What? I'm definitely going to get that. So they said this year it's supposed to be 50, 60. Who knows what it's supposed to be in Dubai? But
60. Yeah.
That's another check that you think I'm not gonna go get it. Oh, I'm going to get it. Like it is just, for me, it's putting food and whatever on my kids' tables or backs or whatever above their head, whatever. So, my kids come first, and if daddy at home just twinkling his fingers and just saying, "Oh, I'm just a professional bodybuilder," no, I got to go get it. I got to go get it, man. Got to.
Yeah.
Erin, I saved this post. This is an Instagram post that you posted October 29th, 2024. I just want to read the first line. I've won 2 Arnold Classic titles, the New York Pro, Dubai Pro, and Miss Olympia, and yet I'm still not satisfied. So when it's all said and done, what would satisfy you?
This Pittsburgh Pro. I don't care about no other show but the Pittsburgh Pro. I told the Manions when I came into this league, I told them, Tyler and JM, literally, I think it was the first road to the Arnold. I told them, I want to win every top show in men's physique. And that was my goal. And of course, I came up short in 2021. Chiron beat me, and then Ray got second, and I got third. So that's a show that I need to get in my bag. Because, I've got a Boston Pro, even though that's not around. I got a New York Pro. I got 2 Arnolds, Olympia, Dubai. What else do I need? I just need the Pittsburgh Pro. That's it. That's the only thing that would satisfy me.
Hopefully it happens this year, bro. Hopefully it happens. I had one other question. I actually saw a snippet, and you shared it, Suki, actually. It was about this potential having like an elimination round right before the Olympia. Now, it's a big talk.
Say that.
It's a big talk at the moment now, and I kind of agree with it. I think it could be a great thing.
Oh no, they hear us. They hear us athletes, because trust me, we've been talking about this for a long time, and I bring it up every time I go to a road to the Arnold. We got to figure something out with these 60, 70 dudes on stage. It's ridiculous. You know what I mean? It's kind of pointless, because a lot of I don't mean to damper it. Everybody deserves their win and their qualification, but a lot of these guys just wouldn't even scrape a top 30. Like, scrape a top 30. So I think there needs to be a something like elimination round, like you said, a tournament to where I don't know how they would do the tournament though. That's the only thing.
Yeah, well, what I was thinking is that obviously they've started doing this. I don't know if you knew this, Erin, within the natural IFBB now. So if you win at a natural IFBB show, you get the qualification to compete at Buendia's. If you win the Buendia, you get the Olympia qualification. So potentially they could do a similar thing, like maybe like the tier 1 shows, like Arnolds, Pittsburgh, New York Pro, could be the Olympia qualifiers, and then all the other shows could be like a qualification to one of those shows.
That's the thing. I even talked to Tyler about it. I don't think he'll go back to the point system because that'd kind of be the same thing. It'd be going back to kind of the point system to get as many wins and then get your qualification. So I don't know. We'll see what they come up with, but 60, 70 people on stage is that's just ridiculous. Like it's basically.
I was just going to say, did it affect you, or do you think it affects your look on stage? You know, having to wait backstage for all that time before going out.
Me, not necessarily, because usually my name is Banks, so I'm usually one of the first call outs. So, but the thing is that wait to go back on stage is kind of like, how do we hold, what do we eat, and yada yada yada. But to be honest, I think it holds up a lot of guys, because I mean, you see guys backstage and not knowing the timing of when they're about to go present or when their class is their call out is being called. Like you it's just a free for all. You don't know. Go
on, Suki, what were you going to say?
My thoughts was that I feel that first off, they need to have maybe like some sort of ranking system where, you know, the last 3-5 years, we know who's like the pound for pound best in men's physique. So first, second, all the way to 16. That top 16 doesn't need to worry about about the morning show. They already should be in the final show because they're your main 16. The others who are outside of that ranking system,
you can't do that.
Should really need to do the morning one. Hey,
here's why you can't do that. Let me tell you why.
Oh man.
Because if Erin Banks comes out of the woodwork and plays second, how is he ever going to go to that night show if you've already picked the first 16?
The first 16, it's about what I'm talking about is like in boxing, for example, you have a ranking system that's based on like, you know, historical data. So we know, you know, the 16, if you're in that 16, you're already in your final. And then they may take the top 10 for the day show.
Okay.
So maybe maybe they take the top 10 from a day show to go into the finals. Like exactly, like we know when we see Erin Banks in the day, we know where he's going to be at. Like these people could do the day part is like a tick box. Like let's split it where we know the marquee ones. Same for the final show. If you're that top 16 ranking system, where that forces people as well to compete regularly to get more points accumulated, where at least that way, look, Ryan's in third. There we go. That 16's there. Take then, you got maybe 40 in the day show. The top 10 make it into there. And you know what? Yeah, you have to go one step further because you're not in that golden top 16. That's just a random number. But that is one way you can work it that pleases the current crop, but also still gives the opportunity. What you don't want to do, and I saw a few people mention it in the post, what you don't want to do is have a separate show before the Olympia on Olympia weekend for people to compete in to try and qualify to compete at Olympia, because that's wasting your money. Or even do a second show. Like it's already going to cost enough. So I'm interested to see how it plays, but I definitely agree. It's 100% needed, not just for men's physique, but bikini, classic. We see those lineups.
And to be honest, those are the most congested classes. I mean, bikini, classic, and men's physique. Every other class, I mean, they got 30 to 40 people. But I mean, that's still even a lot to me, bro. Like, and that's why I ain't gonna lie. Like, I love the Arnold because, bro, I don't have to deal with hundreds of people. Like, damn. So they have it. They have it. I mean, I would, if I was the Arnold, I would probably do like 15 instead of 10. But it's usually 10 of us, which is pretty dope. Like I said, it's a simple show that's ran very well. very well, and the production is also crazy. So, I
Well,
mean,
look,
we
I
get
want
a
to finish
lot
on one.
more catered to at the Arnold than even the bigger shows. So,
Well, I want to finish on one thing. Maybe Matt might have any questions. You did an Instagram live once. I just had to take the opportunity. I had to ask you: would you ever consider classic physique? You gave me the answer I was looking for. Is that something you're generally looking at one day, maybe before you hang up your board shorts? Could we see Erin Banks on the classic physique stage, and when?
absolutely, I would say probably within the next 2 years, I'll be definitely doing a classic show. That's the main thing why we're actually hammering the body right now and really pushing the legs a whole lot more than what I'm used to doing. We've added some nice tissue there as well. So I'll be displaying that come March 1st. But man, it's always been a goal after I won the Mr. Olympia. I was like I was saying, like, what's next? What can I do? And then I've always thought, okay, before I retire, I'll do a classic show. So I think, of course, I would have to put on a major amount of size. And I wouldn't say a major amount. Like if I can step on stage at like 240, that'd be pretty damn solid for me. Because again, you got to understand, like when I get on stage this year to be like 232-ish after we check in and load up a little bit. But yeah, I think 240 would be a nice classic physique weight for me.
Would that be a one-off show, or would there be a run of classic shows?
I mean, if I do well, it might be a couple shows. Who knows? Who knows?
Well, Chris Bumstead's retired now. Maybe Erin Banks, new classic Olympian one day.
Man, I don't know, man. That fucking Mike Summerfield, that motherfucker looks crazy, man. I got good high hopes for that kid, and I met him back when I won in Vegas in 2022 at a little gym and Fit Club in Vegas, and cool cat, man. And just seeing how he's grown is absolutely nutty. And I've never seen a classic guy that dense. Like he's dense. Like, whoa. Yeah. whoa. So I'm excited to see what he does. But yeah, that's I don't know. Classic is a whole other conversation to have. I know I'm gonna do it. I don't know if I'll be competitive enough to do it. But I'm going to do it once I retire for sure.
How's your classic posing?
Oh, I suck. I don't know if y'all seen any of my old men's physique posing, but it's just as horrendous as that. I mean, I can hit a back double. I can tell you right now, I can compete with anybody's back double. I don't care who it is. Like my back double is pretty damn nice.
Yeah, your back's there, to be fair, bro. It is there. Cool. So I just had one more question, and this is just like a general question, actually, because you are still fairly, in the grand scheme of things, compared to like Ryan Terry, you are still fairly new in the sport. Have you got any tips for any new athletes that are just coming into the game that maybe one day wants to be an IFBB pro? Absolutely,
man. The main thing is you have to put yourself out there. When I came into the league, I kind of, like my coach gave me the name The Problem. So even before like I did my rookie year, so I was trying to build that up like, oh, I'm the problem. You know what I mean? So not saying you have to do that, but you have to put yourself out there. You have to be unique. You have to bring your character to life. Like regardless if you may think it'll hit, trust me, it'll eventually hit. And again, like a lot of these guys that reach out to me, man, how do you get sponsors? How do you get this? You have to tag them multiple times. You can't just tag them once and like, oh, I'm using your product. No, you got to continue to tag them, especially if you're interested in them. They don't give a shit about you. They have their people in their community already. You know what I mean? So you have to go over and beyond. And that's what I did in my first year as a rookie. Like as I did my little run as a rookie, I was pitching myself to different brands and emailing these guys and kind of staying on comments and staying on likes and stuff like that. And then eventually it hit, bro. I mean, I was with Trifecta, Celsius, At the time, I was with Global Formula, Young LA. I mean, those were some of the top companies in the league, and I got those as a rookie. But the thing is, I know my placings and all that other stuff helped me as well, but I was still doing my homework and knocking at these people's doors and their Instagrams like, yo, like, bring me on, like, and that's why I would do the videos that I would do. And you have to put yourself out there. You can't just be a dud and think your physique, oh, he has a crazy physique and they're gonna reach out to me. It's not gonna happen. So I think you as well as you keep your foot on the gas as far as getting to the gym and eating the food and doing all that, you got to do that same. You got to put that same energy into reaching out to these companies. You know what I mean? Because like I said, they're not going to reach out to you unless you like a Ronnie Coleman or something like that, or a Sam Solik that's getting crazy views on YouTube and stuff like that. People ain't reaching out to people like that no more. It's a different ball game. So you gotta put your pride aside and start knocking at the door. Cold calling, literally.
Yeah,
literally.
Cold calling, yeah. I mean, that's top advice, to be fair. I do know a lot of people that kind of just hope that things happen to them. But like you said, you got to put yourself out there.
It don't. And I didn't know that coming in, but that's just who I was because I was a salesman at a store called Buckle here in the States. And we literally had to get no's and approach people all the time and kind of make it happen in the stores. So I kind of use that same approach as when I get contracts when I'm in the bodybuilding world. So it's literally, you have to sell yourself. You have to. And if you can't sell you, who gonna sell you? Nobody. So you got to learn to kind of toot your own horn a little bit, talk yourself up and put yourself out there and let people know who you are. Because at the end of the day, like, that's why I post my kids. That's why I do funny shit. I go into fashion. It's so many different worlds that you can get contracts from. You have to put yourself out there to do that. Bro, I got contracts for my kids for clothes. I got contracts for just car commercials, like all types of shit, bro. It's just, if you got to put yourself out there, you got to tag people, you got to do X, Y, and Z, like, you know what I mean? So you got to put the work in. You can't just sit your ass back and just expect, oh, the gifts. No, it don't happen. It don't happen like that.
Yeah. Top advice, mate.
Good way to end it. Look, Erin, I really appreciate your time, man, and wish you the best of luck for 2025. Can't wait to see what happens at the Arnolds. But best of luck for that final 6 weeks. And yeah, I hope you have a killer year.
Oh, we're gonna have a good one, man. Y'all see the work and the pudding, man. It's on the Instagram and it looks crazier in person. So I just can't wait to finish it out and show the world what they've been missing for the last 2 years. I'm back.
Love it.
Great way to end it. Good man. Take care, Erin.
Hey, you guys have a good one, brother.
Take care.